Okay, Jai Hind to all. This is Santosh Mishra from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. I am working here as assistant professor in Department of Information Technology, and today we will learn what the JavaScript is and how can we apply different validations on forms. In last lecture I have explained you how to create a HTML form, and in current lecture we will study how can we use JavaScript to apply different validations. Like if you have created a form and you want that some field should be mandatory, first validation you can have the choice to apply. The second, you want to check that in a text field whether whether a client has entered number or not. Let you want to take 4 numbers from the user and he is entering some text data. So you do not want to this error you do not want to adjust from the client. For prevention of this type of errors by the client, we may apply validations in our form that has been created in HTML, and for applying those validations we will use JavaScript over here. Okay, so then the other validations you may want, that you have you want to take email ID as input from the user, and email ID has certain rules. That rules must be followed, means the email ID should be valid. If the user is entering an invalid email ID, then he must be pushed back and he must be alert about that error, so that he may come back to his form and input the correct values. For this type of task you may use validations, you may use JavaScript, and that validations may be applied by using JavaScript. So let us start. Now what the JavaScript is? JavaScript, as the name suggests, it's a scripting language that script may be applied on client side as well as server side. Means JavaScript is a language by which you can create a client side validation as well as server side validations. Before JavaScript we use Visual Basic for client side validations and ASP for server side validations, but JavaScript is a scripting language that may be applied for both the side, for the client side as well as for the server side. So if you want to apply JavaScript in your form, and that form may be designed in JSP as well as HTML. So if you want to apply any script in your form, there are 2 ways by which you may apply. The first is external script, is type of JavaScript, type of script. You may apply 2 ways. First one is internal script, and the other is external script. If you want to apply internal script, so to applying this internal script, so how can you apply internal script? Internal script. To apply this internal script in your HTML file, let's say I have a HTML file, then we have head, and this head section you may use script tag, and in this script tag you may write your script code. over here. Then close this script tag and close the head tag, and after that start your body code as you need required, then close your body and then close the HTML tag. This way you can use this script tag to write your script internally within the HTML page. This way you can use the internal script to create external script, to use external script, you can open a separate editor, any text editor, and there you can write your scripts. You can write your script code and save that file with any name having .js extension. You can, let's say I am saving this file as abc.js. Save your file at file name .js extension, and this file just contain your scripts. This file just contain your script code. Okay. Now you want this script that you have created externally, and you want to apply this script in your current HTML. So to use that, you have in this HTML I am creating here I want to use this script. So within head section you will use the same script tag. Here there is attribute src where you can specify your file with absolute path where you have created your validations code, your script codes. So this way this external file will be linked to your current HTML file. Then close this head section, then use body code as required, then close your body tag and HTML tag. This way external scripts may be used in your file, in your HTML page. So you can see that here I have coded the script within the same HTML file. That's why it is called internal script. And here in the here where external script has been used, here I have coded the script in separate file and used that file in our current. The advantage of this approach is that once you have created your required scripts, you may use that script anywhere, any number of time as and when required. If that script code suits your code, then you can use that whenever that same script code are required. So reusability of your code enhances. This way you can create the external and external script. Now let's move ahead. Now this script, we may create the script in our file to use that for applying different validations, and that validations may be useful to the client side as well as server side, that I have already told you. So now you also have understood how can we apply the written script in your HTML. Either you can use that internally or externally. So I am just writing our script and applying it. You have already understood that same approach may be used to apply within your page. So let's start form validations. Form validations. So first of all, you want to check whether a user have entered in a field or not. Means you want to make a field mandatory. To make that, you may, so I am creating here a HTML form. For that I have used form tag, and in form tag I have given a name of this form, name equals to F. The name of my form is F, and here in this form I am creating a field that will ask to enter name of the user, and for this name I am using input tag that I have already told you during HTML lectures that how to create a form. So name input type is equal to text. So I am creating a text box and I am giving name of this text box as T. Okay. Now after that I am using BR to break to the next line, and now I am creating a submit button. For that I am writing input type is equal to submit and name is equal to submit. So I have created a submit button, and after that I have closed this form. Okay, and this may be put within HTML and body tag. Starting, it may be started from HTML tag, then body tag, and after creating this form you have closed this form tag, and then I have closed this body tag, and after at last I have closed this HTML tag. Now you want that the user must enter some values in this text field. It should not be blank, and if the user is keeping it blank and clicking on submit button, the user must be alert about that this field is a mandatory field. To make that, I am writing a script and I am creating a function for that, and I am creating a function. The first thing that I am using is I am creating a function. I am writing here starting from here function. Let start from here. I am using a function. The first we are understanding mandatory field. How can you make a field mandatory? How can you make a field mandatory? Mandatory field. To make the field mandatory, I am creating a function in JavaScript. Let the function name is validate. And in this function I am accessing the value of this form. To access the value of this form, you have to use document, because the root element of any JavaScript is document tag. Now document dot form name, that is F, dot field name, that is T. I want to access the text field value of this form F. The name of this text field is T. So document dot form name, that is F, dot text field name, that is T, dot value. In this way you can access the value entered by user in this text field T. So I am putting this value, assigning this value to a variable name n. You can use any name of the variable. In this where n means variable n, I am storing the value accessed from this form, that value that a user has entered, and this value is now in variable n. Now you can check if n equals to null, if n equals to null or n equals to blank. If this value is blank, then alert box may be used. Alert name must be filled. I am prompting an alert message by using this alert function. Alert name must be filled. Name must be filled. Name must be filled. And return false, means the while pointer will move back to that text field. This way you have created a function named validate that should be called at the time of submission of this form. So you have created a form here and you want to call this function validate at the time of submission of this form. To do that, at here where you have created the form, you need to call this function validate over here. For calling that you have to use, here I am going to call this function validate. To call that, you have to use a event named on submit. On submit means whenever a form will be submitted, an event is generated named on submit in JavaScript. On submit equals to in within this I am calling validate, return validate. I am calling this validate function should be returned whenever this form is submitted. Whenever this form is submitted, then whenever this form is submitted, this form F is submitted, on submit this validate function should be returned. And in this validate function you have accessed the text field value and checked whether that text field is filled or not. Whatever value is entered, some value should be entered over here. So if it is blank, then this alert window will be pop-up and there a message will be pop-up, that is name must be filled, and it returns false, means this will automatically return back to this text field and the pointer will be there, user will enter and now submit. And if it is correct, then it will not return false. You can write over here else return true. You can write over here, you can write before closing this function, you can write over here else return true. If it is correct, it will be returned. This way you can apply a validation to make a field mandatory by using JavaScript, and this may be done in user side, client side as well as server side. Okay, I hope you understood. Now next validation we are going to apply. The second validation that we are going to apply is password length. Password length. We want to mandate that the password length must be 6 characters. 6 length of the password should be 6 or more than 6. To make this length validation, you can apply the same thing. So now let us create a HTML form where we want to apply this thing. So I am writing first the HTML, then we will create the validate function. So here I am using HTML, I am creating HTML page, HTML, then body, and within this body I am creating a form, and the name of this form is, let us say, same name I am giving, f, and I will call some function that we have already created in previous example. The same function name will be created over here later on, and I am calling those function over here. And I have already told you, on submission of a form, on submit event is generated, and on submit event is generated as we, whenever you will click on submit button. So on submit I am calling a function validate, return validate, and that we will create just within minute. Okay, so I am creating this form and will create a submit button, and at the time of submission of this form, by clicking on submit button, this validate function will be called, that we will create within. Along with that, we may create a password field. I am just writing for password only over here, password field. For that I am writing input type is equal to password, name is equal to, let us say I am writing, giving name as P for this password field, and I am using this BR tag to go into the next line, and after that I am creating a submit button, input type is equal to submit, value is equal to submit. So after that I am closing this body tag and then HTML tag. This script may be written to somewhere else as to use that externally. So this way you have created the form, and I want to check in this password field P, the minimum length should be 6 or more. Okay, means less than 6 character it should not be there. If it is less than 6 character, the form should return false, and alert message should be prompted to the client screen. So for that I am creating a same function name, function validate, and this validate function I will access the password field that I have just created. In the I will access this value within this password field. For that I have to use document dot form name is f, then field name for value I am accessing is p, and dot value. This value will be accessed, and I am storing it in a variable where, let us say, variable name is PASS, pass. So I have accessed the value entered by the client in this P field and access that and put it in this variable pass. Now apply the validation, check if pass dot length is less than 6. If pass dot length is less than 6, then alert password must be 6 character or bigger. I am prompting this message if the password length is, and then return false, else return true. Okay. So, I have created a validate function that will access the value entered in this password field P, and I have stored it in this pass variable and checked if the pass length is less than 6, this alert message will be popped to the client screen and the function will return false, otherwise it will return true. This way you can apply the password length validation in your JavaScript, in your form, using the JavaScript syntax. Okay. Now you want to check if you are entering a password and that entering a repassword. For checking, generally we have seen that whenever the form is filled, the password is re-entered by the user, and you want to check if the password entered and repassword entered are same, then we should go ahead, otherwise it should be go back to the first field where password need to be re-entered and repassword need to be re-entered. We want to apply this validation. The third validation we are going to apply that password and repassword entered must be same. You want to check whether the password entered or repassword entered are same or not. If it is not same, the alert message should be prompted, otherwise the form should be go ahead. For that, I am creating a HTML page, HTML form, where we will have the body tag, and here I am creating a form in the same manner I have earlier created. The name I am giving is F, and on submit event, and on submit I am calling the same function return validate that we will create. Okay. Now after that, here I am creating a password field as password input type is equal to password, and name is equal to P1. Okay. Now there is a BR tag to go to the next line, and now I am asking for repassword. For that also I am creating in type is equal to password, and name I am giving name as P2 for this re-entered password. BR tag is there to go to the next line, and after that I am creating a submit button. Input type is equal to submit, and value equals to submit. Then I am closing this body tag, and after that I am closing this HTML tag. So you have created a HTML form where you have created a form that have password field and repassword field named as P1 and P2. You want to check whether the value entered in password P1 and repassword P2 are same or not. If it is same, then okay, otherwise alert message should be floated to the client screen. So now this validate function is going to do this task, as you have understood now. Now we have to create this validate function. So let us create it. Function validate. Okay. Now access the value entered in P1 field. For that we will use document dot form name is f dot field name is P1 dot value, and I am storing it in a variable. Let's say variable is n1. Similarly, we will access the value entered in document dot f dot p2 dot value. Both field value I am accessing and I am storing it in a variable n2. Now you have to check whether both the value are same or not. For this I am writing if n1 equals to n2. If these are same, then return true, else prompt not we will use the same alert box as we have used earlier. For you will use the same. So else alert password and repassword must be same. Okay, and password and repassword must be same, and return false. This way you can create a validate function that will check whether the password and repassword are same or not. Okay, I hope you understood how you can apply the different validations in your form. We have understood 3 validations over here. In coming lecture we will move ahead and check and understood some more validations. Okay, thank you. We will meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Thanks a lot.